Hi, Teal Room. So I'm going to take you through a quick walkthrough of our busy books because I know they have a lot of stuff in them. So I want to make sure you know some ideas for how to use them. So mine looks a little different. Over here, you're going to have your extra name practice. So you'll have the books if they make the books with your child's name, and you'll have extra tracing pages. And you can use regular markers on those. You'll also have a little pouch with your materials in here. And then you have a packet for each week of this month. So I did try to do a little less for the weeks for worksheets. I'm trying to do less of them just because I feel like I think it's a waste of paper. But I do want to make sure you guys have enough to do. So each week is in here. So we're doing 2 weeks of apples and then 2 weeks of all things fall, except pumpkins because we do a lot of pumpkin stuff in October. So after those, you will also have a dry erase laminated name sheet, and you have a letter sheet. I know the letters are a little bit difficult to see, so you can do it for your child first and then have them go over. So if you did it with like a highlighter or a yellow dry erase and then had them go over it with a darker, that may be helpful. The same thing for their name page. Again, and if they're not tracing their whole name, that's totally fine. You can have them just trace the first letter of their name for right now. Okay, and then we get to the Velcro game part. So these are interactive games, and there's 3 ways to use these games. So the first would be, skill would be to match. So you hand them a letter or a color or shape, and they could match. So they find it and match it. The second skill would be to have them have a few laying down, and you could say, okay, find A, where's A? And they could find it, and you could tell them, okay, match A, and put A on. And then the last way you could use it was if you hold it up and you say, okay, what letter? And have them say it verbally. And they would say letter A, and then you could give it to them to match. So there's 3 different ways to use these. I know there's a lot on this sheet, so what you can do is you can take, let me see, a piece of paper of some sort. Can't find one with, hang on. You can take a piece of paper and just do the first row. So you could cover these up, hold it down, give them just 5 to start with. So if that's too much, and then you could work your way down and then give them these 5 and then these 5, because 26 is a lot to look at. And then we'll turn, these are fun because they are different body parts. And our students need to know the parts of their body. Very important. So again, you could have these down with them all, and they could match them all together, or you can maybe put a piece of paper on this side and just do 6 to start with. So you could match them and say, okay, what are these? They could say eyes. If they are not yet saying words, you can have them show you on their body. So where are your eyes? And they'll find their eyes and point to their eyes. You can just start with a simple matching, or you can have a pile, and you could say, ooh, find something that you eat food with. So that's a little bit more challenging. So there's a few different ways to use these types of games. The first one, you know, the first skill, you would just give them the pile and match them. And as they're matching them on their own, you can just tell them what they are. The same thing with the fruit. The fruit is only 6, so they should just be able to have them all out together. And you could say, okay, find the banana. Or you can hold it up and say, okay, what is this? And have them say it. You could also say, okay, find a red fruit. So if we have these down and say, find the red one to practice our color this month. Find the red fruit, and they would find, and you could say, what is that? If they cannot answer you yet, you can just say, that is an apple, and maybe encourage them to repeat it. The next page is colors. Again, I think that they would be fine having all of them out. At the same time, you shouldn't have to cover these up. So again, you could take them all off. I'm not taking all of the pieces off because I'm just giving you examples, but you could take all of the pieces off, put them in a pile, maybe make it really fun and say, okay, mix it, mix it, mix it, mix it, mix it, mix it up, mix it up. And then stop, tell them to stop. And then they could just match on their own. So they have a little independency. Or you could say, okay, find the yellow, and they would have to find the yellow. And then the last skill would be holding one up and saying, okay, what color? And then after they tell you, they can match it. The same thing with the shapes. So they can just match on their own to begin with, or you can have a pile and mix it and say, where is the star, and have them find it. And then lastly, you can hold it up and have them identify it. The same thing with the colors. We have a few different options in here for colors and shapes. We wanted to give you, Miss Allison got print happy with these because I just thought they were just so wonderful to use. And I think that they give a little bit more than just worksheets. So they'll give your child extra practice, and I feel like they're a little bit more encouraging to do some work. The same thing with the numbers, and the numbers are fun because you can also have them practice counting. So 1, okay, how many circles? What color are the circles? And they would count them. 1, and then 1, 2. So you could have them match on their own. You could make a pile and say, okay, mix it up, and then find number 3. Or you can hold them up and say, okay, what number, if they're ready to identify verbally. This page, I'm so sorry if this page has Velcro for you. I completely forgot to tell the girls not to put the hard Velcro on this page. This page is just for identifying. So there's no matching for this one. We just made a mistake with the Velcro. So you can go through again and say, okay, find number 3. Find number 8. And if they are not yet identifying numbers, which is totally fine because it's September, you can go through and just say, okay, count with me. And we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. This is sorting. So they'll all you can take all of these off and you can mix in a pile, and then you can, say find the red circle. So they have to listen to 2 parts of your direction to find the red circle and then put it on. These are also great for following directions. So if they have, if you're starting with just one color, which is totally fine, so it's not overwhelming, you could say find the red square and put it on. That is following 2 steps direction. So they could do that. You could also give them all to them and let them match independently. Or you could hold up different shapes and say, okay, what color? What shape? So you can ask them that, and then you can have them match. This is sorting again. So you're sorting. So first I would have them identify each different. So we have a bicycle, a car, a bus, and a train. Choo-choo. So you could take all of these off, mix, 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 mix. You could either say, okay, find all of the cars. Just put the cars on. And then you could say, find all of the buses. Find all of the bicycles. And you could do one at a time. And then you can move to the next step and mix them all together and have them match them all. And as they're putting them on, they can say the word. if they're not yet saying the word, you could say, okay, find the, like in your pile, you could say, find the bus, find the train, and they could follow that direction and sort that way. But this is actually better to do independently, because then you can really watch how they're sorting without your verbal prompts. So it's good to give them in a big pile and just have them go through. And if you need to give them the first model for the top row, you can certainly do that. You can say, okay, car goes with car. And this is if they're all off of the board. And you can say bicycle goes with bicycle. So if you want to give them a model for each of the first row, and then they can complete the bottom 2 rows, that's fine too. This next page is a little more advanced, but I wanted to give it just so that we can kind of start simple patterning. So you can go through, and what I do is I can put them all in a pile. And we can first identify the colors, you know, and I know some children may not know their colors yet, which is totally fine. If you want to skip this page, that is fine too. So we have blue, yellow, red, orange, purple, red, pink. So I would make sure that they knew those colors. And then you could go through and say, okay, blue flower, yellow flower, blue flower, yellow flower. What's here? And I know a lot of children don't always understand this on the first time around. So it does take a little bit more practice. If you want to put it on there for them first to show them, you know, kind of what we're doing, and you can put them on and you can say blue flower, yellow flower, blue flower, yellow flower, blue flower, yellow flower. Okay. So this practices A-B patterns, as well as AAB patterns. And then on this page, we do have the days of the week. So you can either use this with the circle time page, the song, days of the week. So you can go through and compare it to the words on the website. So Sunday through Saturday, or Monday through Sunday. And the Velcro is a little bit off. It's not in the center because we wanted to make sure that we didn't cover up the words. So you can simply have them match the different words, and you can say with them Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and you know, every day, and you can find the day of the week every day. Okay, remember Thursday is orange. Let's find Thursday, and you can find it with them. A few different ways to use that page. And then we wanted to include some pages based on our themes. So we are doing apples this week. And next week. So this is just a simple number matching. Again, you could do one row at a time and cover this side up. So you can focus on 1 through 5. That's typically where we focus on in the beginning. So you can take them all off, mix them up, and then have them find the number. Or you can show them, okay, I see 1. Let's find the 1. Where is the same? Are these the same? No. Are these the same? No. Is that the same? Yes, that is the same. So you can use it like that. You can have them verbally identify what number it is and then match. Or you can have them search and find in the pile as you say it and pick it up and match. And then when you're done, you can count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can say, what are these? What is in here? How many apples are in the basket? What color are the apples? And then the last page, we are matching the different types of apples. So we have some that are all the way eaten, some are halfway eaten, some have 4 seeds, some have 2 seeds, some are red, some are green, some are yellow. So you can take them all off And I know this page is a little overwhelming, so you could definitely cover up the half page with a piece of paper and just focus on 4 at a time. And then once they have that done, you can do all 8 at the same time. So you simply could say, okay, find a yellow, if you wanted to have them follow direction. If not, you could have them just do it on their own. And you could play a game and say, so like if they're all off in a pile and you pick up, okay, let's find the red one. You can say, okay, where is the red eaten apple? Is that the same? No. Is this the same? No. Is that the same? Yes. So you would have them answer no and yes. And being silly like that also encourages them to participate and kind of makes them wanna do. So I hope you really love this book. These took a very long time to put together. Thank you so much to Destiny, who did a lot of the laminating and Velcroing. They took over a week to do. So please, please, please take care of them because they are laminated. They are wipeable. So you can definitely sanitize these down with a Clorox wipe. They're cleanable. I know our guys like to do some work with snacks, so you can clean them. Please try to keep track of the pieces so when they're not in use, you can put the pieces back into the bags. I recommend doing, just one activity at a time. I wouldn't have all the pieces out for all of the activities at the same time because it is a lot of pieces. We do have spares at school, but we are trying to use these all school year, so we would like them to come back to us when we are in person because these would be great for us to use at centers. If you're really, really, really loving it at home and you find that you're using it a lot, we can certainly keep it at home for you to have at home. My hopes is to add 1 or 2 pages every month based on our theme so that they have something a little fresh. And I would recommend doing this every day, at least once a day. Not all the activities, of course. You can do 1 or 2 a day, as much as your child really wants to do. If they want to explore and do all the activities, that's great too. So if you have any questions on this book, please reach out. I am here to answer any questions, and I really hope you enjoy it. All right, bye, Teal Room.